Hi, and welcome to this journey into midlife metamorphosis. That's our topic for today. I'm Loren Crawford, and I've got over 30 years of studying yoga, Ayurveda, and other personal growth modalities. And in that time, I've developed a framework that goes beyond what we'll call traditional career change advice. So for those of you in midlife who are going through some kind of transition, stick around. You might enjoy this. If you like what you're hearing, go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and comment for sure. Did you know that men between the ages of 50 and 54 have the highest level of unhappiness than at any other stage in their lives? And also the suicide rates during this time are significantly high. This statistic isn't just about numbers either. It represents countless men who are struggling silently. They're trying to muscle their way through what could be a profound opportunity for transformation. Today, I'm sharing my Sage Path framework. That's what I'll call it. A holistic approach that's helped executives, professionals, and men just like you from all walks of life navigate this uncharted waters and this terrain we call the midlife transition. So this is not about quick fixes, anything but, right? Or simply updating your resume. It's really about awakening to your deeper purpose and creating a life that aligns with who you're truly becoming. So the journey begins with, I would say, an honest self-assessment. And that can be hard. Many men reach midlife and may start to realize, heck, I'm operating on autopilot. I'm disconnected from my inner landscape. Those who are more reflective will catch on to that. Others may just have an inkling that something's amiss, something's not quite right. And like many of you, I spent 25 years in the corporate world. And trust me, it did serve me well. But gradually I became frustrated with the bureaucracy, with the leadership, and management decisions. I couldn't articulate what was wrong. I just knew that, something had to change. Frankly, the breakthrough came when I started practicing some specific breath work and meditation techniques. And I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of that for you today. These aren't just relaxation exercises. They're powerful tools to clearing that mental fog and accessing deeper wisdom. So let's try one now. So this first technique is not as complicated to do as it is to explain. What we're going to do here is a forced exhalation where we pull the abdominal wall back and then we just let the abdominal wall relax, and that creates a spontaneous inhalation. And you can do this either through your mouth or through your nose, either way. So the inhalation can be through the nose, the exhalation through the mouth, or through the nose. So the abdominal wall squeezing back with force and then just letting go. We do this as short as 30 seconds. So we're going to call this the 1-minute meditation. It's a technique I learned from Dr. John Douillard, an Ayurveda guy who I follow. Amazing. So we're going to do this about probably 27 pumps and then just hold in silence for the next 30 seconds or so. When you're doing this, I invite you to close your eyes. So let's do it together. So if you can close your eyes, close your eyes. If that's too weird, just look down with a soft gaze. And then when you're ready, start to do this pumping action. Remember, the exhale can be through your mouth if that's easier. So squeezing back with force, release, squeeze back with force. It's kind of like you're trying to intend the navel back up under the ribs a little bit. And we try to isolate to the abdomen because what might happen is the shoulders start to bounce. Do a couple more. And then just sit quietly. Be still. So we would hold that stillness for about 30 seconds. And you come out of that and there's clarity. There's clarity. So You may want to try that again on your own. We're going to do another round in a moment as I layer something else into this. So it's a very simple practice that will break up those walls that separate your conscious mind from your deep knowing. So what we do consciously is kind of the smaller end of the spectrum. Most of what we do and how we operate is in the unconscious. 90 to 95% of how we activate and be in the world is driven by the unconscious, just patterns, right? Many clients report when they do this that just after 2 weeks of daily practice that they start experiencing moments of clarity about their situation, more so than logic can provide. What motivated you at 30 rarely motivates you at 50. Your values have evolved, but often your conscious awareness of them hasn't kept up. I knew I loved teaching yoga, but I didn't want to be confined to that narrow view of yoga that so many people have, what they think yoga is. And this created some internal conflict for me until I realized my values had evolved. I valued transformation more than the tradition, integration more than isolation. Let me guide you through a values excavation exercise I use with my clients. Let's do a little bit more of those Kapalabhati breaths, and we'll call it the fire breath because it activates some transformational fire. So when you're ready, just begin. Just squeezing back, releasing, squeezing back, releasing. Each one of these pumps, you're getting lighter and brighter. Mind getting more clear, blowing out some of that fog, cleaning out the dross. Last few pumps. Good. And then sit quietly. When you open your eyes, you're going to see on the screen a list of values. And I'd like you just to take some time to view all of them. And then come back and identify 3 to 5 that really, really stand out for you. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and have a look. So just peruse the list. You might even want to write down the ones that stand out most for you. Give you a few more seconds. It's good to go with your gut impulse as well, rather than to analyze and try to be logical about it. Tap into that sage brain, not the sort of reactive, logical mind. Good. So hopefully you have a few there. And this can be a starting point for reflection on next stages, right? Now, strengths follow a similar pattern. The strengths that got you here may not be the ones that are going to take you forward. Some of your strengths may have actually gone dormant while others emerged without your full awareness. One executive client discovered that his greatest strength wasn't the analytical, which had served him well for decades. Rather, it was ability to create space for innovation, something he'd never fully acknowledged. Many men in midlife have lost touch with that thing that brings them to genuine joy. They spent so long doing what they should that they've forgotten what they love. One client came to me utterly depleted, and when I asked what he did for fun, he just stared at me blankly. His entire identity was wrapped up in achieving, in achievements. And I can totally relate to that. That was me for a long period of my life. Through our work together, he discovered his childhood love of astronomy. That had nothing to do with his career, but it reconnected him to wonder and possibility. The rediscovery of joy is not something that's frivolous. It's essential data for your transformation. Joy is your internal compass pointing you toward alignment. Try this exercise tonight. I invite you to list 5 activities that brought you joy, let's say before the age of 18. Then look at those 5 activities and assess how many of these still feature in your life. The answers often reveal where we've abandoned parts of ourselves. The logical mind and the ego want to control your transition process. They'll push you towards the practical. the safe choices that may be just variations on your career dissatisfaction, to be honest. True transformation requires accessing what I call the sage mind, your right brain's capacity to create exploration. We're going to do a short meditation now. Close your eyes, or again, if that's not comfortable, just look down with a soft gaze. Do a few more of those pumping breaths, those fire breaths. Squeezing, releasing, squeezing, releasing. Each pump helping you to get more clear, more light, more bright. Good. Now, sitting quietly, I'd like you to bring your awareness to your eyebrows center. So there's that point between your eyebrows. And sense from that point that there is a beam of light, like a laser beam of light projecting way out in front, way far out. And see that beam of light in blackness. And now I'd like you to start to move your awareness out along that beam of light. Just moving out there through the darkness along this beam. And think of this as moving into the future. Just following that beam of light, continuing to move forward. Your awareness moving somewhere in the future. And suddenly you notice there's something ahead on that beam of light. Something's there. And as you get closer, you realize, oh, that's a being. You get even more close and you realize, oh my gosh, that's me. That's an image of me in the future. That image of you turns around and you acknowledge each other. Have a conversation with your future self. Ask him what his journey has been like. Find out what successes he's had, what achievements he's made. Let him know that you're in this place of wanting clarity on your future, but you don't really know what that's going to look like. Let him tell you what it might look like. What might you be doing? Where might you be living? Who's around you? Notice all of the feelings that are coming up. Notice what it looks like as he's describing this future. Feels like. Then ask if there's any other input, guidance, or advice he might want to share with you. Ask him if he can help you to achieve the clarity you're seeking right now. And when you've got input, then you may want to take a moment to open your eyes and just jot down a few of the things that came up for you. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause. It's good to capture this stuff. So I want you to understand that this meditation isn't about fantasy. It's about accessing that deeper version of yourself that the analytical mind blocks and keeps us from connecting to. And remember here that nothing needs to change overnight. Your vision might unfold over months or even years. It might catalyze more immediately too. There's no right or wrong. Both approaches can work when they emerge with authentic insight rather than fear of external pressure. A client of mine, a former corporate executive, when he was introduced to some of these visioning practices, and he discovered his calling wasn't to achieve another executive position, but coaching other executives. This clarity that he granted through breathwork and meditation revealed a path that both honored his experience and his evolved values. The framework I've shared with you today, self-awareness, values and strengths reassessment, rediscovering joy, and visioning the future, these create the foundation for an authentic transformation. But knowing the framework and walking the path are two different things. Most men will try to muscle their way through transitions, using those same tools and mindsets that got them stuck in the first place. If what I've shared resonates, I invite you to take the next step. I offer a midlife clarity call. And in that call, we can explore where you're at now and what your future might look like. And this isn't a sales pitch. It's a genuine opportunity to gain clarity. If that interests you, you can visit the link below and book a time to have that conversation. I want you to remember that midlife isn't a crisis. It's really a metamorphosis waiting to happen. Thanks for joining me today. If you've liked what you've heard, go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.